Hey, out there in the crypto world, we're going to talk to you today about MXC. We got more miners, remember? Well, we got them hooked up now. But we did something different because as of this month, you can do this. You can put them closer together. I want to show you what we did, what our strategy is, and how we're making now about $1,400 a month just on 5 of the miners after having drained 3 of them. Let's talk about that right now. All right, before we get started, and I explained to you some new updates on MXC and how you can mine Bitcoin with them, I want to show you what we got set up. We got one hotspot right here, okay? Then we got another one right here next to it, not even 3 feet away, not even a yard away or a meter, wherever you're from. These two. Now we're gonna go over and show you 2 more, and then we have one other one back in the US. Now these are down in South America, and we're still making that kind of money. So let's go over now and jump over to the other side. Right behind us is our office. We're gonna go over there. We're not even 30 meters away, 30 yards away from our offices. We have 2 more hooked up, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the new updates. Let's go over and take a look at the other one. All right, you know, Voscoin has his dog, others has their dog. We have Puppy. Say hi, Puppy. Say hi to the crypto community out there. This is our little Labrador. She's really good with the kids. Best dog ever. Not a Shiba, you're a lab. She's a Bitcoin. Let's go and take a look at the other miners. Okay, now we're back in the studio. So let's take a look at why we're able to put these MXC miners much closer together and still now make 100% profit. Now, first of all, what I want to tell you is that we had 3 of these that we bought. 5 months later, we were able to take out just about $7,300, $7,500, or exactly what it was, in total of our MXC token. Now we drained them. We drained those 3. So that put us down to a 40% margin. In other words, you need about 100% to be able to generate, to get paid your full capacity for having your M2 Pro miner functioning, right? So if you withdraw, which is different than helium, if you withdraw from this, you're punished actually, in a sense, because it's kind of almost you force you to stake and leave your money there. I'm not a big fan of staking because of the risk involved as well as the centralization. Also, there was a lot of hacking going on, which MXC has addressed on that, and we'll talk a little bit about that right now too. But we actually, within about 5.5 months, were able in three devices generate over $7,000, which we took out and then bought 2 more devices. And those 2 devices we hooked up, and that's what we showed you. So we have 5 total devices, 4 in one area and 1 here in Latin America, and 1 we have in North America. Now, just remember, going to the screen here, that Match X is the actual name of the miner for the MXC project. MXC is the token, right? So let's go in here a little bit, look and read what we had here. Initially, mining proposal was to allow 1 of these Match X miners for every meters, right, every 165 feet in diameter. Previously, another miner being placed within the vicinity would have been punished, okay? You would have lost 7%, so you would not have been able to mine at 100% capacity. You've been only been at 93% capacity, and so on and so forth for each other hotspot you had in that same vicinity of that 50-meter diameter. However, after receiving valued feedback, okay, from the community, came to their attention, this is some time back, that miners want to have multiple units. They want to build farms. Now, is this feasible to actually is it to build a network? Is it like helium where you have to have so many spread every 300, 400 meters? Well, apparently with the MXC program, you can have up to 10 in one 2 kilometer area. So let's go on and read this now. So they basically saw the 50-meter principle unworkable, especially for miners who live in apartments, right? And for those who do not have the ability to spread out over such a distance, and those who wanted to create more of a farm. We listened to those comments and so forth. So what is it now that we believe, jumping down here to paragraph, that after much consultation with the community, we've reached successful conclusion for all parties. New regulation, okay, which is expected to be implemented around March of 2022, which is now implemented. It will no longer punish 2 singular miners in one location. Moving forward, there will be a maximum of 10 of the M2 Pro miners within a 2-kilometer vicinity, so a 2-kilometer radius, without any effect to the proximity mining. So it won't lower that percentage at all. You can be able to mine those 100% so long as your gas fees, in other words, as long as all of your mining or your investment that you're actually being mined, or you pull out and put back in again, it's like a staking, right? You almost have to leave it there. If you leave your money there and you don't touch it, you can run at 100%. Now, what happens if you take it out? On 3 of them, we drained them 100%, and we took a lot of money out. It took us down to 40%. And so then from 40%, now what have we done? Tried to come back. What have we grown coming back? In other words, we've grown 1% per week coming back. So now we've gone 7 weeks ago. We're about 47% on one, just under 48% on another, and about 46.5% on another, depending on what we took out from each one of those. We pretty much didn't take out the same amount on all of them. Some are hooked up a month or two different from the others. So then what we're looking at is what we're getting back now. If we drain these out once a year, it'll knock us down from 100% potential of our earnings, our mining capacity, and I'm trying to put this in simple terms, to 40% once we take everything out. Now it depends. If you don't take it all out, it won't drain you down to 40%. But I, again, am not a big fan on staking, and there's been problems with hackers hacking in to the MXC project and hacking the wallets and taking the money. So once a year, we plan on taking our money out. So we're going to drop the 40%. Out of some of that money, we're going to buy new miners, so long as the project shows me it is growing and going forward. Now, we're bullish on this because I'm going to show you why. One, they're allowing basically, here's how this is going to work now, okay, going forward. First of all, before I jump onto why we're bullish, you can have 10 miners down in approximately 2-kilometer radius without any effect. The change means this, that the 11th miner within that same 2-kilometer radius, so you can have 10 of them, boom, you know, right around your house. And then within 2 kilometers, that radius, 11th one pops up. It could be somebody else. So the first one's there, have the right to claim. Now, also, I understand there's going to be some sort of measuring as to what type of gas and what kind of percentage you leave in your mining at. So if you're at 100%, you actually dominate. This is also going to affect their metaverse areas that you can claim when they go into the metaverse later and try to develop this whole idea of a community in the metaverse, that you actually will own your neighborhood where you have your miners, but they're going to need to be at 100%. So if you drain and somebody else has a miner there and they don't touch their miner, well, then they can supersede you and they actually take over your neighborhood in the metaverse. So the incentive here with MXC, and it's one thing I don't like about it, is how drastically you're punished when you take your money out. Now, the good thing about it is it makes me leave it there. So I look at these, I hook these miners up as, okay, these are my recovery miners for when we make mistakes and we get screwed like we did in Planet Watch where we lose $30,000, right? So on my MXC, I'm gonna have to make back my money and then go back into something else other than Planet Watch. And this is not talking about Planet Watch, but just as an idea that's fresh in everybody's mind right now. So MXC kind of forces me to leave it there a lot. But we're going to drain them once a year, and then we're going to continue to grow. So we had 3, we took money out, bought 2. We're going to end up buying 1 or 2 more in July, June or July, and that's what we're going to do for the year. They want them to see what they want to do, because I'm going to tell you, right now, what you don't find a lot of, like you do with helium, and they're very competitive with helium, providing the same idea, and I'll give you some examples here. But the idea is I want to see more third-party users on the network that we're providing, right? Because obviously, where's the money coming from to pay us? I don't want it to happen what happened with Planet Watch. All of a sudden, they got money there. Within 4 or 5 months, it's dried up, and you're SOL, and you're getting 5.5 plans at 55 cents a day when you're making $7 a day at one point, right? So we don't want to have that same concern. I like, though, the fact that MXC is growing. Helium is growing when others, like Planet Watch and Deeper and so forth, are not growing as much anymore. They're kind of fading down. See what Planet Watch does. Deeper, I think, is in some serious trouble right now. But back to MXC, I digress. So what's going to happen if I have that 11th miner? Well, I'll be affected with a 20% hit and my reduction. The 12th miner will be at 40%, 13th miner 60%, and so on, right? So any more than those 10 miners or about 11th miner, you're really going to take a huge hit. Now, what is our game plan on this? So we have three. We had the M2 Pros, right? So we took the money out. We're down to 40%. Now we're going back up 46, 47%, 48%. What's going to happen on the average of a year? I'll probably be around, let's just say conservatively, 60% of its mining capacity. Well, the two new ones about though will be at 100%, right? So then what happens at the end of the year, we take it out, we'll go back down to 40%, all of them, we'll buy new ones. So we'll be about 60% of them. So if I'm making, which we are now, an average about $350 a month on each one of them, and we have the 5 now, you know, then if I'm getting that $350 a month and I cut back to 50%, then I'm still looking, you know, at that $175 a month for each miner. And that puts us today with the 5 miners we have going right now, we're making about $1,200 to $1,300 a month with those 5 miners we have going. Now, MXC is more expensive, but there's something I like about MXC, and I think we understand this, that the only thing they need to do to transition to 5G is add another antenna. So that $3,000 bench to get over, or that $2,700, $2,800 with shipping, that threshold to get over, really could put you in comparative to the Helium 5G, which is around the same benchmark, about the same price, at $2,500, $3,000 for the 5Gs for Freedom Fight, right? Now, that's what we understand 5G. I don't find a lot of information on 5G, so I you know, take that for what it's worth. That's just what we've been told. Even, you know, earlier on, Voscoin was saying, look, the 4th antenna that's missing, you only get 3 antennas, is for the 5G network. So if we have to buy that, which I'm sure we probably will, it may be some adjustment to software or some sort of staking like we have to do with Bitcoin or DHX, because you can mine more than one token on this miner. So let's just jump in real quick to conclude. I want this to be very long. You can see there's 23,729 M2 Pro miners now on the map. And you'll see the gray ones are actually different type of LoRaWAN type of devices. Probably Helium, for example, and then you have the M2 Pro miners. So with MXC Foundation, there's a lot of them. This is in Europe, so we kind of back out a little bit here. Let's go over here to even to the Americas. Well, you still have a lot of room to grow here in the Americas, right? US with a lot more. Down here in Latin America, even, you know, a lot less. You have these are going to be your LoRaWAN type of devices here. So this could be either HNT devices, or they could be other types of devices that use LoRaWAN systems. So you have 3 here that are connected. There actually should be 5 now. The 3 are ours here in Ecuador, right? You have a total of 59 in Colombia. That's interesting. That's new. We just talked to somebody from Colombia who's developing a network for Helium. So jumping over here now with the initial proposal, let's go into the data dash app security. This is what I want to talk about here. They're really telling you now you need to go in and make a change and update your passcode and make sure you have the 2FA, the two-factor encryption or two-factor security set up. That's very, very important right now in your data dash wallet, okay, because there's been a lot of hacking going on, especially with as much as the idea is the incentive to stake here. So it's a pro and a con. And like I said, what we like about it, we look at that as our backup. And that just kind of rebuilds money that we are losing when we play with these other higher risks, such as PlanetWatch, right? Like I said, we took almost a $30,000 hit on PlanetWatch, which we're still trying to resolve. And tomorrow we're going to do a video on that. So very careful on that. So deep dive analysis of the Das Kaiser project. Remember, that's for mining Bitcoin. The generation now, hey, look. The idea with the DKP3 was you used to have to lock 6,000 MXC tokens. MXC right now is about 10 cents, right? So let's see, what are we at MXCs? Let's go, yeah, we're about, yeah, just over 10 cents, almost 11 cents. Let's get back here, Das Kaiser project. Where am I at? Lost myself here. So the BTC mining. So you used to have to lock up a lot of token to be able to mine. Now they're going to do it differently. Miners will need to bind less MXC to mine Bitcoin. Or you're not really mining Bitcoin. right? You're able to earn by providing the network. You're able to earn Bitcoin. You're able to earn soon Polkadot. This year is the idea is going to Polkadot and DHX, right? And that's the network they're kind of working off of. They're also Ethereum based. So their ERC20 token, which makes it a little bit expensive for their transaction costs. When you want to pull out, you got some fees there. And, you know, you've got the whole Ethereum going to go to their 2.0 within, well, they're saying now it's gonna pass June. So we're looking between July and October probably. And that's not going to lower fees that many people think. The only thing it's going to do is just take it from a proof of work, which is GPU mining or ASIC miners, to a proof of staking, right? And that's the only difference where it's going to take place right now. It's not going to reduce any costs yet. That'll come down the road, maybe a year or two down the road, when you get other projects that are going to come onto the Ethereum network and be able to absorb and lower those cost exchanges. So don't think that's going to happen with Ethereum 2.0 jumping in. We'll do another video on that also this week. So the difference now is from the past testnets, you can decide now how much MXC. You don't have to lock up the 6,000. You can lock up whatever you want. We don't know what the ratio is going to be yet for how much you lock up for MXC to earn on Bitcoin. The other would be the binding periods have been reduced on 30 days from 90 days. So you can lock it up, and it doesn't have to be a 90-day lockup period. You can come down to a 30-day lockup period. So it's going to be easier to actually get in and earn Bitcoin on your M2 Pro miner. So you'll have Polkadot, you have the MXC token, the DHX token, the Polkadot token, and you're going to have Bitcoin you can earn on this hotspot. Now that's great for us in the plug and play industry that like to do these things. Now, we do everything, even with GPU mining, ASIC mining, etc. Not really a lot in ASIC mining, more so GPU mining, because we feel GPU is multi-use. ASICs burn out in time, and then what do you do with it, right? GPUs have multi-use, and we can do other things with them, which we're already doing. Now, so to conclude here, it's a multi-token, multi-coin device that allows you to earn different tokens, various ways of staking there. But what I want to see still is I want to see more third party and more end users coming on board. And so let's get some in with what could be an end user. Who might use this? Well, the one thing we like about working Lora is it extends a lot more in distance. It extends miles or kilometers, if you will, instead of just yards or meters, right? So that's an advantage. So if you want GPS systems and so forth, just like with Helium, it's very similar to the Helium project. And so I want to kind of give you an idea of there's this VPB project they're working on that allows this, okay? The data will then, for electric cars, the data will be processed when you hook up to an electric car station and you hook up, the data then downloads and is transmitted in a secure, encrypted way, apparently, to the actual end user. Now, can this data be used against us? Well, that's yet to be determined, and I'm concerned about that because the MXC has done things with China to help create the smart cities. Well, smart city is a city that's so smart that it tracks everything you're doing and everybody's there and knows everything about you. So that's not necessarily good either. However, we're going that direction. And one nice thing about MXC is that we can also just unplug them if we want to, right? That does give us a little bit of power. So, but we're still going to keep an eye on that. There's a concern of mine. And the other concerns I want to see identified, like Helium identifies Dish Network. And what Dish Network does, it's very crystal clear. I want to see more of those end users. Especially when we're talking about $3,000 basically threshold to get in for Sunny Helium hotspot. Now, $500 to $700, but coming out with the actual light hotspots, you're going to be able to get for around the $300 range. So it's a big difference, right? And you can make about $100, $200, depending if you know what you're doing, what you're antennaing and so forth, on the Helium a month versus $350 to $400 on MXC. What I like about the M2 Pro miner, like I said, is I don't touch it. I leave it there, right? And I pull it out once a year. So it forces me to do that. So we kind of make our earnings. It's kind of like our piggy bank, so to speak. So that's just our strategy going in with them. I'm not going to say that, you know, we're bullish on it because I like the fact that it's actually gone up, the value has in the token, and yet you're seeing other tokens go down, right? Even Helium's gone down. But again, I want to see more end users. So if you guys know of more actual third-party users that are actually contracted with the whole M2, the whole MXC program, please write us down below, please. And the other thing too is while we're at, hit the bell, subscribe, turn that red to gray, and give us a thumbs up. We need that. here's the kind of data it's going to track. So it'll track your total kilometers driven on your car, your average speed, your data usage in your car, right? And if you have water damage, fire damage, impact damage, your braking data, everything about the car, which we know there's other miners coming out now that want to hook into the Helium network that are going to do the same thing anyway, right? So we're talking about the same kind of data transfers. So it's very similar, even like I said, GPS systems, bicycles, etc. It's very similar. Now, what I don't understand still, because I'm really not the most tech savvy, I dig into understanding these things. I have a group of young people around me that understand these things a lot better than I do. I just try to look for market niches, try to keep ourselves abreast of what's going on economically on a global, a micro, and a macro and micro aspect, as far as the politics, geopolitically, again, on micro and macro, so that I know what niches we can go into, where crypto's going, where it's legal, where it's not legal, what we can do if we need to go offshore, certain things, what our taxation base is going to be, how we can legally reduce those taxes. That's my niche, all right? So that's what I'm going to help you with, and I share with what my engineers share with me to help with you. And I do my research, trust me. I dig into it, and we make our mistakes. That's why we want to share it with you. I'm not a financial advisor by no means. Just have a lot of experience, lost a lot of things, and we've had a lot of success as well. So we just try to share with you, and we hope that benefits you as well. So in conclusion, remember that the innovative technology that promises for machine exchange coin, MXC, all right, and you can read through our white paper, what it's all about. It works on the LP-WAN, the low power energy, which will allow us to now to transfer data in a much more secure and low power way. And we're talking about everybody's all, when the poo-poo's about Bitcoin and GPU mining, well, that's really kind of overblown, but it's a whole other subject. And they're kind of coming in with Helium, kind of giving that data transfer solution, as well as trying to get themselves involved in the metaverse. So this is why we bought more and why we connected them closer. And this is, we hope that this helps you understand what we're doing. And if it interests you, we'll put a link down below where you can buy it. We actually have an affiliate program. So if you want to help us out a little bit too, you can buy your MXC miner through us. They do have them in stock. I just bought those 2 more and got them within a couple weeks. And they're really easy to plug, to hook in, and bam, open your wallet and go to work with it. And just leave it alone. It's really simple. There's no technology actually necessary to understand. DeFi IoT, hope this helps you out a little bit. Write us, subscribe, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. We hope you enjoyed this segment of our video with DeFi IoT. Remember, we're not professional advisors. We do this as a business, as a hobby, and we study, we experiment, and we want to share it with you. If you can get some benefit from this, great. What we do is we go out, we purchase with our own money, and we experiment to see what true results are. We want you to be able to share in our experiences so you don't have to lose like we have. If you can win where we've won, fantastic. Remember to do your own research and your own homework. It's very important before you make any decisions. We will see you in our next video.